is right view where law of the jungle, whoever's powerful gets to do what they want.
I'm trying
Sounds like
to
that's what
find.
you're
No,
saying.
no. I'll answer it for you. I'm trying to find out what other law of the land you think we live in. Help me understand.
We have domestic law, we have international law, we have
What
criminal
what
law.
is the what
I don't know where you're living.
what do you use? Do you
This
use
is you've been in
do you
Florida
use
far too
do you
long.
use ChatGPT or do you use Claude? Which do you use more?
Probably ChatGPT more.
ChatGPT more than Claude? Okay. Do you know when it first started who had the biggest market share?
ChatGPT.
Who do you think's killing it right now?
Claude.
Claude's picking it up. Why?
Because they invaded another country, kidnapped the president.
Because they produced a better product.
Did they?
Huh? Patrick, this is a very bad analogy. Like I said, you can't compare products and businesses to, I ain't gonna lie, like countries, because that have been war torn. Like, what are we really making? What are we really comparing here? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Hold on, maybe I missed something.
Probably ChatGPT more.
ChatGPT more than Claude? Okay. Do you know when it first started who had the biggest market share?
ChatGPT.
Who do you think's killing it right now?
Claude.
Claude's picking it up. Why?
Because they invaded another country, kidnapped the president.
Because they produced a better product.
And
hold on.
Why did Amade? What's the guy's name? Dario Amade. What's his name?
Yeah.
The guy who runs Claude. Did he go into Sam Altman's house in the middle of the night, take Sam Altman and his wife, put bags on their heads, and fly them back to his compound, and kill a grandmother in the process?
Difference. The only difference is that, but worse.
That is the big difference, Patrick. I can't believe you don't see it.
No. I understand what you're saying in the argument of that, but the reality of it is, which is what?
A law of the jungle where the might is right. Do you support a world? Do you like living in a world? Are you pro? Do you support the idea of living in a world where powerful countries should be able to do what they want?
Can I ask you a question? What country?
You keep answering question with a question.
Why do you live in America? Why do you live in America? The most
because I like the law. You know what I like about the US?
It's the most powerful.
No.
Go live in Iran.
No.
Go live in Iraq.
I don't live here because it's the most powerful country.
Why do you live here?
Because many reasons.
Give me.
One is it's a country that's governed by laws, principles, free speech.
Yes.
I love the First Amendment, the Constitution.
Yeah.
I don't favor presidents and people who say we should just break the law because we
I didn't say break the law.
What do you mean? Taking over Cuba?
You kind of sound like an imperialist when, I mean, the only thing you're really talking about is, oh, well, you're here because of our strong military. Like, no. I mean, let's be real. Like, we could have a strong military, but if we didn't have, you know, the like laws, rights, like, let's be real, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, all this good stuff, nobody would come here, regardless of how strong our military is. If we had no real rights here, nobody would want to be here. Like, that's how it is. The fact that is how we treat people in America. It's not about our strong ass military, which I'm proud of. But I mean, come on. I'm more proud of the way our laws are set up, the way we're supposed to be governed. Like the fact that, yes, we are the freest people in the world and we can say whatever the hell we want. But hey, apparently it's all about us being able to blow people up.
Breaking the law. UN Charter. That's the law of the land.
If they come and they try to take over.
Who's coming?
Whoever it is. Trump's already talking about it. Rubio's already talking about it.
The Cubans are not taking over anything.
No, Cubans are not taking over anything.
We are launching a war of aggression, like the Nazis. Nuremberg called it. You know what the Nuremberg Tribunal called a war of aggression?
I'm assuming
the supreme international war crime.
Is it fair to say you were against tariffs on day one?
Yes.
I was for tariffs. Guess what Supreme Court ruled?
Against tariffs.
Okay, great. Yeah. Guess what? You just.
Okay.
That's what happened. If they go,
you want to live in a world where Trump says F the Supreme Court, and that's what J.D. Vance has said on the record.
Not at all.
J.D. Vance has said this on the record. But you just said you
want I'm not.
People
but let me
get to do what they want.
Look, let me tell you.
Said it. Everyone
today,
can watch it.
Trump's the president. Okay, a few years ago, Biden was the president. In 2028, AOC could be the president. Newsom could be the president. Rubio could be the president. Somebody else could be the president. Right? Every time the opposing side is the president, the opposing side thinks it's the end of the world. What ends up happening to America? What ends up happening?
Bad things.
No, not necessarily. Eventually goes back to normalcy. And it's like, I'm going to go there.
I look at the Trump first term and I see 500,000 people killed from COVID because he couldn't handle a pandemic.
But do you know why, though? What protects America the way it does?
I would argue our laws, constitution, principles, history.
I like
and you're saying I want to throw it all out.
No, but
to have an imperialist nation.
If a leader comes in that is a visionary leader that wants to expand and grow, and he can do it within his terms, and Supreme Court and law allows it, I don't mind him doing
First of all, the Supreme Court law doesn't allow it. Venezuela was unconstitutional. Congress declares war in this country.
Yeah, then if that's the case,
president.
Well, we saw that with the 60-day rule with Iran.
He's violated that.
I understand that. And they're working around that right now in different ways.
American law. What about international law? Even if the American Congress votes to attack Cuba.
Mehdi, you should know better than to bring up international law to Americans. We don't care. I mean, who's going to check us? That's the problem with international law when you bring it up. Who's going to check us? Now, if you want to bring up our law that we can check ourselves on, okay, cool. You'll have us shaking in our boots then. But if you're talking about international law that no country can check us on, sorry, but unless our Congress is willing to enforce international law, it really doesn't matter.
Doesn't make it legal.
Which they should.
You can't attack other countries.
Mehdi, let me ask you. If, for instance,
tomorrow you'll say 9/11 was just, do you support 9/11? Do you support 9/11? No. Why? Al Qaeda could do it. They did it. According to your logic, Al Qaeda had every right to do it.
There's a difference between.
Yo, Chad. Now that was funny. He's like, yeah. You know, he's working around it. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean working around it? And you know what's funny? When it comes to the tariffs, Trump's already got his little workaround through, going through sections of the Trade Act and the Trade Expansion Act. But the problem with that is that they're still trying to strike even those down. So it's like a constant tug of war when it comes to tariffs.
Between me supporting it and then them doing it and then me retaliating to you. Like right now, if you and I were sitting.
But you don't think it was illegal?
Do I? Of course it's illegal.
Why? According to you, it doesn't matter.
No, of course it's illegal.
Also, 9/11's illegal, but us attacking Cuba is legal.
I didn't tell you. You never heard me say attacking. If they can go and take it over without attacking and the laws allow it, guess what? I'm for it.
That's a whole different argument.
It's not a whole different.
If the Cuban people vote in a referendum to become the 51st state.
Don't spin right now and make it seem like I want to go kill people and take stuff over.
You defended Venezuela. We killed people to get him out.
I never said if. But by the way,
you said give him credit for Venezuela. You did say that.
You don't think that was a good move?
No.
You don't think that was a good move?
I don't believe you should. I don't support regime change. I don't support assassinating foreign leaders.
What
did George Washington say? Don't go abroad looking for monsters to slay. Or was it Adams? I forget.
Yeah, so you don't support what he did.
I do not support the United States government.
Well, I thought that was a massive
foreign countries,
especially the way they did it,
and killing foreign leaders. Even if it has a good outcome, I don't support it because I support laws and principles.
Well, I do also support laws and principles. But if you say you support laws and principles, you're trying to tell me Obama followed everything?
No.
You telling me
he violated the law in Libya. I criticized him.
Every one of them.
Because I'm not in a cult. I criticized Obama
but then,
in 2011 for doing
Libya. He had a shit show in Libya, a shit show in Syria. I mean, if it ended with an IA, it was a shit show for Obama. So we can all sit there and admit that. And I mean, but that's the problem though. It's like, the Dems are willing to sit there and admit that, yeah, Obama did some dumbass shit when it came to the Middle East. But here's the thing. This is why a lot of people who voted for Obama actually voted for Trump is because they were tired of these conflicts in the Middle East and they felt betrayed by Obama's conflicts in the Middle East, especially when it came to Syria and him pretty much letting Assad get off. But hey, it is what it is. We got him eventually, right? Right.
You know what's the difference between you and I and them?
I criticize people on all sides. You don't.
Yeah, we do. We do it as well. But you know what's the difference between you and I and them?
Go on.
What's the difference?
You and I and who?
You and I talking, giving our opinions, and Obama and Trump. What's the difference between you and I and them?
We're not politicians.
They made it into the White House.
Okay.
And so they're going to be able to do whatever they're going to do. You and I can talk about it, give our opinions.
We don't have an imperial presidency. We shouldn't have an imperial presidency.
That's why we have the freedom of speech of giving our opinions.
No, we also have a vision of America, which is supposed to be a restrained commander-in-chief. The founders came to. We're celebrating 250 years of American history. They came to this country, where? From my old country, the UK, to get away from a mad king, not to recreate a mad king.
Okay, so we can get past this. I mean, when maybe the next time we'll do the podcast, we'll do it in Cuba or Venezuela, just for the sake of what we'll enjoy ourselves with. Anyways, let me get to the next story with you. By the way, Mamdani, Spencer Pratt, what commonality do you see between the two of them?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
Tell me why.
Because I know this is argument that says all of these candidates who make a lot of noise, do well on social media, are similar. But I think people have underestimated what Mamdani is. Mamdani, yes, is charismatic, had a great social media game. I interviewed his team that made his social videos. Great people, smart people. The video he did where he jumped into the water, freezing cold to show freeze the rents. The video he did for halal.
You're saying Mamdani or
Mamdani. I'm just talking about his campaign was brilliant online. No doubt about it. The halal.
Maybe one of the best.
One of the best, yeah.
Maybe one of the best.
One of the best.
And the guy that
came out of nowhere, 1%.
Yeah,
only
I
1%.
I agree.
But
damn,
what happens is a lot of Democrats took the wrong lesson from that.
I mean, shout out to Chad. Now, look, these are facts. So pretty much, and I mean, if you don't want to believe Chad, I guess we can just go ahead and go right into Google AI. But yes, the Constitution validates treaties, making them a binding source of law. It defends how they are approved and established them as the highest form of law in the country. So what in God's name are we doing? Yeah, the treaty clause, Article 2, Section 2 grants the president the power to negotiate and make treaties. However, these agreements only become valid and binding when approved by 2/3 of the vote of the Senate, and which is mainly the establishes all treaties made under the authority of the United States as the supreme law of the land. Damn. This means treaty obligations override any conflicting state laws or state constitutions. Hold on. We really crossing the line over here. Hold on. We really effing up out here if that's the case.
They said, this guy is so good on social media. We got to hire the same people who did his social media campaigns. We got to do video. Did you notice after Mamdani won the primary, suddenly you saw all these congressional Democrats primaries making working on the same videos, same cutaways, same. And they think that's how you replicate Mamdani. They misunderstand. Mamdani, yes, the social media game helped him get his message across, helped him get the youth out. But at the core of Mamdani was a very clear message. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compare him to Trump right now.
Careful.
I'm going to compare him to Trump. Donald Trump, I asked this question to everyone. I can't get fired. So when
capitalist, you're free.
I'm free. 2016, I say this to everyone I talk to about politics. I said, tell me, I say this to leftists, I say this to liberals, I say this to Muslims, I say this to non-Muslims. Tell me what Donald Trump's 3 main policies were in 2016.
What was it?
You tell me, what was his slogan? Do you remember what Donald Trump, what did he run on? When he first ran, what did he run on?
Get rid of these rapists and all this stuff.
Ban Muslims, build a wall.
Immigration.
Remember that? That was all his big lines.
Build a wall is one. Yeah.
So we remember all those slogans.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Do you remember what Hillary Clinton's lines were? No.
I'm for her, and that's about it. No. First female president.
But her own slogan, which she had a great, 77-page childcare proposal, I'm sure. I'm sure it's better than Trump's. But people don't campaign like that. And I think what Mamdani did is, even now, you ask me, what is our Mamdani run on? Okay, freeze the rents, free buses, free childcare. It was message discipline around a set of policies that people identified with that helped with this ridiculous affordability crisis that made him seem like he was in touch. And I think if Democrats only take away, or people in the media.
And that was the one thing I was trying to voice to the Republicans is that, we kind of got to pick up on Mamdani's message before we lose the message and we lose the argument altogether. I know what you're saying, but like even you admit that Dems make things unaffordable. Yeah, I know. But if their message is if their message right now is that, we're going to make things affordable, and we're watching Republicans over here getting mad at us for complaining about the gas price. Did you hear that bastard Mark Levin on his show talking about, these American these days are weak, man. What about the sacrifices of Israel? What about the sacrifice of the older generation? I'm just like, the older generation didn't have to deal with higher prices and inflation at the same damn time. So excuse me for speaking out about it. But when that's the argument of the right, I'm gonna be real with you guys. When you're gonna lose the affordability to Dems, they're gonna ride out on it. And I've been trying to tell Republicans to focus on affordability, but no, woe to Ron is more important. So when we lose that argument to the Dems and they start actually coming out with some, I doubt it, but if they can actually start coming out with some real policies, then they're gonna cook us. And all they have to do is point to the current economy right now, going like high inflation, high gas prices, war to Iran. Bro, I mean, infringement against free speech. Renee Good and Alex Preddy. These motherfuckers got the craziest laundry list to attack us on right now. The craziest one. So I would hope that we kind of wrap this war up and kind of get back to, making things more affordable for the American people and bringing more jobs into America. Because if you don't do that, I don't want to hear no bitching about no blue wave, no Democrat takeover. Don't blame us. Blame yourselves.
Yeah, only take away from Mamdani the guy's slick, he smiles well, Trump loves him, he does great social videos.
You don't
That's a
Pratt
mistake.
has that?
I don't think. What's Pratt's main policy platform that's going to get people out for him?
The fires, homelessness.
Everyone says they want to deal with that. That's
but that's because that's
the guy is a reality TV star. I'm not a fan of reality TV stars running for president. I wrote a piece saying Oprah should not run for president years ago. Although I have said Jon Stewart should run in a primary.
You think Spencer Pratt stands a chance?
Yes,
he does.
Because America's fucked up right now.
You think Spencer Pratt stands a chance?
Donald Trump is president of the United States twice. I'm never going to rule out anything in this country.
Not facts.
I thought Trump wouldn't win in 2016. That's how dumb I was in 2016. That's why I don't do predictions anymore. No, 24. I said he would win, and I said he's going to win, and he's going to be a fascist.
When did you say he'd win in 24?
All of 24. I spent all of 24 warning.
Got it.
I said get rid of Biden.
So
I said Carl needs to change her performance.
You think this is the new era? You think that this is the new era of types of people?
Now, this is why I kind of got a little bit more respect for Mehdi than most like liberals, Mehdi and Cenk is because they actually sat out there and condemned their own party with their own little bit of TDS involved. And of course, them always being upset with Trump. But at least they was able to sit there and be like, look, man, we know Trump is bad. But what the fuck is y'all doing? What the fuck is y'all saying? How are y'all going to convince these guys to go back to us? And all you're doing is calling these guys fascists and Nazis. It's like, what are y'all doing? And you got to respect that about any Democrat is willing to push that message, because the ones to sit there and condemn their own, analyze their own, and understand that, oh, yeah, you're right. Is all we got is performance and really no substance here. Like, all right, cool. We could perform in Congress, perform with these protests, performative speeches. I don't know, like Cory Booker doing 19-hour speeches. That's all performative. But where's your policies? Like, what's the plan here besides bitching about Donald Trump's plan? Nobody trying to hear y'all bitch no more. Democrats, this should be the year that y'all come up with a goddamn plan.
But that run for president, which before you,
which is not good.
General, military, all this stuff.
Yeah,
now
I don't think it's a good thing. And I wrote this piece when they were thinking about Oprah. Do you remember a few years ago, people were pushing Oprah Winfrey's name? And I wrote a piece for The Intercept saying, come on, no, let's not go down this road. I do think you need politicians with charisma. And that's why people think of Hollywood stars. That's why someone like, I love Jon Stewart. I would love Jon Stewart to run in a primary. Just to shake
guys, and if you haven't already, man, make sure to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But do me a favor and smash that like button. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep it going.
He'd be fun.
I don't think he'd be a great president, but I think him running would just add to the race. But my biggest problem is I take politics seriously. To go back to, I've been studying, I've been a political journalist for 25 years.
This is your sport.
I did politics at university. I did politics at high school. I do debate. I take this shit seriously. And it annoys me when, look at Donald Trump. What did he say yesterday? I'm bored. I'm bored of the Iran negotiations, like a freaking child, right? You cannot have people who are unserious people.
Help yourself, can you?
Unserious, I can't. Unserious people in charge of our countries.
Have you ever met him, by the way?
No.
You've never met?
I've never met Donald Trump. No, should I go to a White House briefing?
No, I'm just trying to see if you've ever met him.
Should I go to a White House briefing and try and get called on by Caroline Levitt?
Did you?
I got a few questions.
Did you meet Biden?
Did I meet Biden? I'm trying to think. I was in an event with Biden. I don't think I met him. But
Obama?
No, he was before my time. I arrived at the end of his presidency.
Did you
interview? I was in a room with Obama. I interviewed a lot of his people, Ben Rhodes, a lot of people around him.
Not him.
Not the president.
Okay.
The president gave me an interview. Then I was out. Yeah, no.
Got it. Surprised you've never met Trump.
No.
Would you want to meet him?
I'm a journalist. How would I not want to meet him? I'd love to interview.
What would you ask him? What 3 questions would you ask him? You sat with him. What do you ask him?
I mean, I'd only get 3 because he'd walk out after 3.
Do you think you would?
Oh, he's super thin-skinned.
You think you would want?
Look, for sure. I mean, you know what? I'm almost. That'd be damn near something you could put on Galaxy. Like, so how many questions before? How much questions can Mehdi Hassan ask before Trump walk out of this interview? That would be something I'd like to see. It's like you said, 3 questions. I'll give Trump a good 5. I give him 5 questions, and then the 5 fingers of death, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm up out of here. You pissing me off."
It's upset with like, I regard American interviewers to be softball interviewers. I'm from the UK where we do tough interviews. My biggest criticism of the American media is weak ass interviews. Nora O'Donnell barely asked him anything the other day. The guy had a meltdown. He's like, "You're so rude. You're so rude. You're so disgusting. He just can't handle. He's got such a thin skin. He's the whiniest leader we've ever had."
Asked about, if I'm not mistaken, he asked about the guy's letter.
Yes,
that had to do with rape and pedophilia and something like that.
Yeah.
She started with, and you could tell she was nervous when she asked the question.
This is CBS. This is now in the can for Trump. Let's not forget.
Sure.
This is the guy who says, "Be quiet, piggy," to report.
Yeah, but he should have been more. Exactly. It's like Trump has been pretty vicious towards reporters, so he shouldn't have been so vicious with her just asking a question. Like, I thought that was a bit asinine as well. Like, bro, chill out. You over here getting mad at her just for asking you about a current event. Like, sorry, but somebody who just shot up a mosque, put your name in there and is calling you a pedophile, okay? And he's saying one of the main reasons he got dedicated to this is because your presidency and the fuck ups of the left and a bunch of other radical things as well. So excuse me for asking. I mean, honestly, I wanted her to ask that question. So I just can't imagine getting mad about getting asked about something that, I don't know, your name was brought up in. And here's the thing, it doesn't make him look like, I don't know, like the most innocent person ever when he gets so defensive, over this whole pedophile stuff. I think Trump's best play, and I understand everybody's been calling him, and he's probably irritated, but the best play for him would just be to brush it off.
He can't handle tough
questions. What do you ask him? You got 3 questions. What do you ask him?
I would ask him, I wouldn't ask him opinion questions. It annoys me when people say, "What do you think, Mr.?" He loves that shit. I would ask him fact questions about what is happening in the world. I would ask him. It depends on the day, right? If I'm interviewing him right now, I would say to him, "You said." My opening question would be: You said a few weeks ago that people say Donald Trump's going to get bored of this war. I don't get bored, you said. And yesterday you said, I'm bored of this war. How do you explain that? That would be my first question, Aaron.
What else?
I would say to him, are you out of your depth in this conflict? And I would give it the evidence as to why he's out of his depth and ask him to deal with each of those examples. For example, the Strait of Hormuz, for example, the Gulf countries. I also wouldn't be able to resist having some fun. I always think someone should ask Donald Trump. I would love for someone at a White House briefing to stand up and ask something that completely exposes this man's pig ignorance of the world. I would love someone to stand up and say, Mr. President, when will you be going to Wakanda? They are building a Trump Tower there and they love you in Africa. And he would say, I love them too. Because he doesn't know that Wakanda is a fictional country.
You think he would say that?
110%.
You think he would say that?
I would pay money to any White House correspondent watching. They get fired on the spot by the network.
It's obvious. Do you put him as an intelligent man? You put him
What's
as
your depends how you define intelligence.
Well, how do you-
like streets.
I mean, come on now. But you did have Kamala Harris out here doing the Wakanda little what was it, little chest beat, like Wakanda. Like, well, didn't she do that for one of her commercials? She did that bullshit. I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if Trump would fall for that one. But if he did, oh man, I'd roll on the floor. I'd be done. I'd be like, okay, Mehdi, you got it. You got it, brother.
Smart, getting ahead, getting his way. Yeah,
Sure.
Like he wouldn't be able to get where he got to.
He's probably not a well-read guy in your eyes.
That's an understatement. I think he's one of the most ignorant people I've ever come across. You seen the latest stuff? He keeps being like, I call them Democrats. You have to take the B off of dumb. Most people don't know that dumb has B on it. No, most people do know that. You probably just discovered that there's a B on dumb. You know, there's a Trump tick. I watch him so much. Whenever he says most people didn't know this, it means he just discovered something himself 2 minutes ago.
You literally think he just discovered how to spell dumb?
I know it. And talk to the people who worked with him. We're second-term Trump, Patrick. I don't have to make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Dozens of people have now left the administration, have told their stories, and it's all the same thing. The guy is an egomaniac. The guy is vain. The guy is dumb. The guy changes his opinion based on the last person he spoke to.
This is a guy that won in business. This is a guy that
he didn't
won
win in
media.
business. 5 bankruptcies in a row. You're more successful than he is.
This is a guy that took a...
I mean, I always like to hit people with, bro, 90% chance the first business that you start's not going to make it. So to sit there and ding Trump on failed businesses, I mean, bro, what? I'm gonna be real with you. I can't name you a businessman that hasn't had a couple failed businesses. I can't. Can you? Most likely not.
No, show from 0 to 1,
Steve
15
Jobs,
years.
for God's sake.
Dude, the guy won presidency 2 times.
I give you Apprentice.
2 times.
I give you Apprentice. Great reality TV star.
2 times.
Great. I'm not going to question his ability to run a reality TV star. I'm questioning his ability to run America.
How do you think about his kids? Do you give him compliment as a parent, as a father?
No. Have you read the stories about him?
You don't think he's a good father? Why do you think his kids love him?
You think the kids love him?
You don't think they do?
I mean, if you read some of the tabloids, well, money and power can be.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty sure Trump's kids love him. I'll tell you that. I mean, let's be real. He provided a good lifestyle for them. They're rich off his name and wealth and all that good stuff. I mean, I don't see no reason why they'd hate him. I don't know, maybe his daughter, but I know his sons will love him to death.
That's the only reason. I know a lot of billionaires that kids don't want to be around him.
If you read the New York tabloid press that Trump was very friendly with, the kids didn't like him when he was young. They were annoyed that he was cheating on their parents, his respective mothers. Things changed. There's stories about him allegedly. It's denied. There's stories about allegedly him, slapping Don Jr. at college in front of his friends and all sorts of stories. I don't know if they're true or not, but this is what's reported. Tiffany Trump, he never talks about.
From a Muslim and a Middle Eastern dude, what did our parents do to us when we were kids? Did you ever get slapped?
Of course.
Dude, are you like, you and I don't have the permission to say anything?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hold on, brother. I'm just saying, it all depends on what Don has said. If Donnie Jr. says something wild, Trump started to take that hand across him, I can't blame him, man. I mean, come on. If I say something reckless to my dad back in college, I'm pretty sure he would commit to the same action.
Thing with that. So we got to change the subject.
Withdraw that.
Yeah, withdraw.
He didn't go to his son's. He didn't go to his son's wedding so he could do troll posts about Ro Khanna.
I don't think he didn't go to the wedding because they had to go back for the war and everything that was going on.
Come on,
question.
Great.
When it comes down to Muslims, 2020 vote to 2024.
I love you. You did whatever you did. You came back to Muslim. Why are you?
The funny thing is, though, I was raised by a Muslim, so I get what they're talking about. It's like, yeah, ain't no way. Come on, bro. You can't get mad at that when our Muslim dads would low key go upside our head, probably for less. Most likely for less.
With Muslims.
You like
because you left
stats.
Iran?
I want to give
No,
you
I want to
stats.
know why you're obsessed with
I
Muslims.
want to give you stats.
You know, there was a terrorist attack on a mosque recently.
I want to give
Did
you
that bother
stat.
you?
I want to
Patrick?
give you a stat.
Did that bother you?
Can I, Mehdi, invite me to your show? I'll
Oh,
answer
I'm
questions
inviting
for
you after
So
this.
here we go.
Sure.
So
You've all heard
What-
it. He said to invite him, Rob. You heard it. Everyone on YouTube heard it. I'm inviting you to a
okay,
show.
so here
got a
we
lot
go.
of questions.
2020, Biden had 69% of Muslim votes.
Yes.
Trump had 24%. 2025, Kamala dropped the Democrat vote from 69 to 50%. Trump went from 24 to 31%. Third party got 12% and increased by 9%. Why did Muslims become Republicans?
Gaza.
Yeah.
Gaza.
There are other issues too. The bathroom transgender issue in places like Michigan, a lot of conservative Arab Muslims.
Yeah, I mean, the push of transgenderism, Gaza, and the economy. Those are probably one of the three things that definitely pushed Muslims over to Trump. Only 24% though, but still a large number.
Didn't like that.
Yep.
They don't like that was happening even before Gaza. No doubt about that. But it was still a kind of fringe issue. What made it an
You
issue
said
in the
the
Muslim community?
the LGBT.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there were conservative Arab
Yeah,
communities
yeah.
in Dearborn who were like,
And
we
I'm
don't want
glad
this.
you brought that up.
We don't want this. And
Yep.
they brought that up. That was
Yep.
before Gaza. There's no debate that some was shifting already to the Republican Party.
Sure.
But they were a tiny minority. The vast majority of Muslims still voted
Triple.
Democrat, still supported, still understood the Republican Party is Islamophobic, white supremacist adjacent party right
You think
now.
number
Has
one
Randy
reason is
Fine in it.
you think number one reason why they vote the other
Gaza
side
by
is
a
because of
mile.
Israel?
10 miles.
Okay.
Gaza. No, not Israel. The Gaza genocide. You have to understand, I spoke to a lot of these people. I traveled through
Yep.
all these communities in 2024.
Yep.
And I tried to point out, yes, Biden and Harris are complicit in a genocide. No one's defending the Democrats. I was very critical of the Democrats and what they did between 2023 and 2024. But Trump will be worse or as bad. He's not going to be better. And people bought the Trump shtick. No, he's anti-war. He didn't start any new wars. He's not interested in the Middle East. He's friends with MBS. He's friends with Erdogan. It's going to be great. I met Palestinians who told me Trump will be better on Gaza. He's transactional president. They bought that shit. Look at him now. Look how many Arab countries have been bombed. But Muslims were not
And
voting.
this is what I always blame. I blame Biden's abysmal performance with Gaza. I mean, the man let the worst of the genocide happen under him. So don't you think that kind of drove that community to a point of desperation where, anybody's better than this guy? That's what the Biden administration did. Drove everybody to the point of, damn, the economy's fucked up. Kids just got genocided over there in Gaza. Yeah, anybody that wants anything different is better than this guy. And here comes Kamala Harris talking about, oh no, I want to do the same thing as Biden. Like, son of a bitch. Like, and of course, she pretty much gave it to Trump with that. I always did say when she said that, she gave it to Trump at that point.
For Trump as a whole. You mentioned third party too. Jill Stein picked up a lot of votes in some places. Not as many as people thought she would.
12%.
Of Muslim votes, yes.
Yeah.
So in certain places. So
Majority was like
my bigger
2%.
but my bigger picture is every time I said to someone, Trump is going to be worse than Harris, they said legitimately to me, but we have to punish the Democrats. That was the line. We have to punish the Democrats.
Damn.
They can't be seen to get away with a genocide. And when you say Kamala dropped it to 50, well, Joe Biden dropped it to 50. Harris kept it at 50 by not distancing herself from Biden. Her biggest single mistake was going on The View, and my friend Sunny Huston said to her, what will you do differently to Joe Biden? And she said, nothing.
Told
And
you.
the minute she said that, I
Told you. Even I said that. I was like, bro, when she said that dumbass shit, I was like, oh my God, you're cooked. The whole reason why people are moving towards Trump is because of Biden's performance. You can't sit there and act like that's not a factor. And that's exactly what she sit there and try to do. Act like that just wasn't a factor why people were moving to Trump. If she just stood by and said, I'm going to do something different with Gaza. I'm going to do something different with the economy. That's all she really had to say. Honestly, she didn't even really have to put too much details into it and people would have probably bought it.
knew she's lost. And that was it. Until then, I had some hope. She could beat him. She was leading in the polls after the
Is
convention.
this the worst candidate you've ever seen on the left? In our lifetime. This is your sport.
I don't think she's as bad as people thought she was. I think she was definitely handed a
Who's
poison
been
chalice.
worse than her on the left?
But who's ever had a 100-day campaign? Like she got a
170.
she got a shitty legacy. Let's just be fair to her, right? If we're going to be fair, we should be fair that she got a shit. Joe Biden should not have been in the race until July of 2024.
No,
that was
I'm
insane.
with you on that one.
She then got
You saw when
coronated.
Joe Biden came out and said,
What a load of bullshit from Joe Biden. She's like, oh, I thought he had a stroke that night. No, you didn't.
and then the video says, oh, Joe, you did so good.
Yeah,
Your
we saw you that night.
Yeah.
If you thought you had a stroke, why didn't you go to the White House doctor? Bullshit, but rewriting of history. I did a video that night after the debate in my basement, in my home studio. I got attacked for it by some people saying Biden needs to stand down. It's ridiculous. And I still think Trump should stand down. He's also got mental issues. But Harris was a good candidate for a very short period. She had all this momentum, you know, the honeymoon period. Americans love rehabilitation. You give somebody a chance. She comes in, she gets a boost. She runs this. I'm Joy. Remember that? Goes to the convention. I was at the convention. It felt like a freaking party. I remember a member of Congress was there.
As if it's already.
A Democratic member of Congress said to me, "This is bad. We have not won. This is way too early." There's a member of Congress said this to me, a lefty.
Kamala failed she failed the Democratic Party. Like, that's all she really had to do was just change up her policies, get a better VP than Walls, and things would actually worked out a little better. Maybe she got Josh Shapiro and let Josh Shapiro handle all of the media, you know, let him do all the media engagements. She'd have been good. She could have put all that on somebody who's actually competent and probably rode off into the sunset on that.
And I remember sitting there watching, Beyonce is going to be here. It wasn't Beyonce, it was fucking Leon Panetta. But anyways, bizarre. We come out of that convention and then she starts.
Nah, what was hilarious to say, Beyonce was going to be there, didn't show up. But when Beyonce did show up, she didn't sing. She just gave like what? I don't know, like a 5-10 minute speech. And they probably paid a couple mil for that.
Attacking to the right, she starts saying all this shit about, what was it? Oh, they were shutting down Lena Khan, the antitrust stuff. She had Mark Cuban, Liz Cheney campaigning for her. She campaigned more with Liz Cheney than with AOC and Bernie, right?
By the way, that was horrible move.
Insane.
Horrible move.
It didn't win over anyone.
Did you think that was a good idea?
No, I said at the time. At the time, I said these people are not going to switch over. Olivia Troy, who's a good friend of mine, former Trump official turned never Trumper. She was part of that. And she admits now, I've interviewed her. She says, yeah, we tried, but we thought there'd be like this mass of conservative women that would come over.
How much money did they raise? 2.1. What was the number? 1.5 billion or 2. That's a big number.
It was a lot.
Yeah. But so
But she also had her brother-in-law, by the way. There's a lot of reporting that suggests Kamala's brother-in-law, her sister's husband, I think it's Tony West is his name, big Uber lobbyist. He was pushing her to drop all the affordability, good stuff, drop the ads. There was poll testing
some controversy with him as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
West,
but the affordability agenda that she dropped, she should have gone economic populist, right? She did not go economic populist. Instead, she campaigned with a billionaire and with a war criminal. And I think that was a huge problem. And then she went on The View and said, no change. This is a change election.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Kamala, bro, she definitely said she wanted to go to war with Iran, and she had Liz Cheney behind her. Liz Cheney of all Republicans, like, if you'd have got somebody like Thomas Massey or I don't know, some like populist, okay, cool. That'd have been good. That'd have been a good message to say that, Republicans for Democrats, sure. But Liz Cheney, so basically you're saying all the Republicans that we don't like, all the Republicans that we want to go against for the Democrats, like you align yourself with the neocon, like really? Sunk herself.
Change elections, I'm not going to do anything different from the guy who's going out. It was just
so you think, okay, so go to 28.
But she could have won, by the way. He didn't win a landslide. Trump lied his ass off.
What do you mean she could have won? She lost every single state, 7 states.
Have you looked at the numbers? In the 3 key swings.
She helped more counties become Republican in America.
Have you looked at the numbers? If 115,000 people had voted differently, she would be president. That's what it came down to in our ludicrous system. She lost by 1.5 percentage points. One of the narrowest. He got one of the.
I mean, when you look at the popular vote, she lost by like 2 million, maybe like 1.5 million votes. And it was like, what? Yeah, she had over 75 million, but it was 75 million or so votes. Trump had 77 million or so votes. So there's a 2 million difference there. You can't say it just depended on 1,500. And then she got blew out in the electoral as well. So I don't know about that, man.
Narrowest wins in modern American history. You know that, right? I know he lies, and people like you give him credit. He lies. He says, I won a landslide. He won one of the worst. You can pull it up, Rob. I wrote a piece for The Guardian with all the receipts.
Every county became more Republican in America.
Pull up my piece.
Every
Guardian,
county
2024, Mehdi landslide. Type it out.
Can you please send this chart to this man here?
Pull it up.
He's the Muslim community is becoming more Republican,
Patrick,
which is great.
Patrick, will you give me permission to read from your screen?
Go for it.
Can we scroll down?
Yes.
This is a great moment for me, taking over your show. Scroll down. Keep going. Stop. So the former president's margin of victory over Harris is a minuscule 1.6 percentage point. Actually, it's 1.5. It went down after that. Smaller than that of every winning president since 1888, other than JFK and Richard Nixon. In fact, in the 55 presidential elections in which the popular vote winner became president, listen to this. Oh, your viewers are getting some good facts today. 49 of those 55 elections were won with a margin bigger than Donald Trump's in 2024. I hope the president is watching your show. I know he's a friend of his. He's coming on the show.
Can you do me a favor?
Donald Trump, you lost.
Can you show
you won with a
how many
49th
counties?
Who gives a fuck about counties?
Won.
I'm showing you the margin of victory.
Dude, Mehdi.
He won by 1.5. You can raise your voice, but I've already done my receipts.
If there's anybody that has no room to say anything, look at this here.
My receipts are up.
Look at this here. You
Patrick,
run away. Look
I love
at this here.
You know, land doesn't vote.